Is it on?
Yeah.
What? Restart it. Restart it.
Restart and say action before you press
action. Hello. Today we're here with one of the newest teachers, Mr. Wichers.
How are you?
Hello. What makes your class most enjoyable?
For me, I like teaching just everything about forensics. I really liked I know students hated it, but I really liked the document examination part of the class where everyone had to write cursive. Okay. I know they didn't like writing cursive, but I liked seeing how they struggled. But for the most part, I just like putting science into real world application, and forensics is one of the ways to do that because you get to use it every day out in the field.
Right. After having your class last year, you do your notes a little different. Why do you choose fill in the blanks?
I choose fill in the blanks just because it makes sure they pay attention while the slides are going along. And then by the end of the year, I switched to more asking questions so that they actually start taking their own notes so that it prepares them better for college. Because in college, you just have a slide, and then the presenter teaches, and you gotta take notes based off of what they're talking about.
Okay. And if there were any forensic cases you can go back from the past, which would it be and why?
Probably either the JFK case, just because it's famous, and I want to know more about it, or one of the cold cases from London with the serial killers, the Jack the Ripper case. I just think that one would be very interesting because they didn't have the forensics they do now to figure out who it was. So that one would be interesting to look back into. Okay,
and what inspired you to be a forensics science teacher?
Mr. Ader, actually. I enjoyed his biology and chemistry class while I was here, and he made me want to get into science, but I wanted to do science that helped other people, and I figured one of the best ways to do that was forensics, because you got to work with people daily on helping figuring out what happened to their loved ones and getting them closure for their loved ones. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wichers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Lawson. I'm a senior here. Today I'm joined with Ms. Vecino. How you doing, Ms. Vecino?
Hi.
So you play a big part of, hiring teachers here, looking at their resumes. What made Mr. Wichers stand out?
Well, there's a couple things. The first is obviously his background. His background is in forensics, forensic science. He has both a bachelor's and a master's degree in forensic science. He has a lot of field experience, and so he was highly qualified. Mm-hmm. As far as the teacher, he's an alumni. And getting alumni back into our school and then training them to be educators, professional development and teacher development is something that I work on. There's something about a former student who wants to come back to Mount St. Joe. They understand our values. They understand the traditions and the culture of being a Xaverian school. And that is... it's very different than with other teachers. We don't have to teach that piece of it. They already know who we are, and they kind of understand the family.
You mentioned he was alumni. You think having a young teacher teach these young kids a good quality for them?
Yeah, I do. I think he's relatable.
Yes.
I think younger teachers can be more relatable to students. He gets kids involved. I think the younger teachers bring something else to the dynamics of being an educator. He's involved with baseball and that types of thing, and he gets other kids involved because he can be related to. Some of the older teachers, or veteran teachers, not older teachers. Some of our veteran teachers can do that as well, but I do think it's good for our students, for the guys to see other teachers coming back to work with them.
I completely agree. Thank you, Ms. Vecino.
You're welcome.
Hello guys, I'm here with Jimmy and Luco. And Jimmy, did you know anything about the forensics class before taking it?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't know too much about that class, to be honest. Not too much.
Okay. And what is one takeaway could you take away from that class?
One thing I could take away from Mr. Wichers' forensics class is I had a really good knowledge of understanding of how like the evidence was put together and concise together to get like the certain outcomes.
Right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm joined with Josh O'Connell. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing well today. How are you?
Doing good. What is one key takeaway that you had from Mr. Wichers' class?
Mr. Wichers' class, I'm going to say the stuff that we did about ballistics. I really enjoyed the ballistics unit, learning about how guns operate, like what goes into it, and how it's applied to crime scene investigation.
Mm-hmm. When you walked into his class and you thought, he's a new teacher, alumni, what'd you think?
I thought, actually, that's a good question. I thought he seems pretty cool. Like, I got a pretty good first impression of him day one. And I was like, I'll give him a shot. And I really liked him that year.
Good to hear. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.